All right, everyone, welcome back to Breslov Efrat. Shua Tov, a good vach to everybody. Today's special because today we're in the Shleishis Yemei Hagbala. Right, you know that, right? The Shleishis Yemei Hagbala were the 3 days that we camped around Mount Sinai. And we're preparing ourselves. So now we're holding in that same place right now. Mamish, the first day of the 3 days, preparing for the acceptance of the Torah. So, all right. Make the best of it. Okay, now we're going to learn on the day on the Sefira. So today is Hayom Shiva V'Arbaim Yom Shehem Shisha Shvuos V'Chamisha Yom Lomer. Right, today is the 47th day. It's 6 weeks and 5 days. We're coming to the final stretch, right? 3 days left here too, right?
Yep.
Right. Hod Sheba Malchus. Today is the day is Hod Sheba Malchus. Hod is giving Hodah, giving praise and thanks to Hashem. Right, that's what the day is about. And Malchus, we know, is the kingdom. HaKadosh Baruch Hu's kingship, right? The kingdom. Let's see what can we learn and take from today. It was something very beautiful here. Yitain Ha'adam Elibay. The person should pay attention. Ki kidei sheyizker lahamlech es habayri yizbarach hasheichem b'nishmasei. These words are fascinating. Right? If you want to be able to make Hashem the leader over you, you want Hashem to be your ruler. You want him to. He is anyway, right? Hashem is anyway. He's ruling. He controls everything anyhow. But if I want to have the cognizance of that, if I want to recognize that it's Hashem, that Hashem is Hasheichem b'nishmasei, Hashem dwells in our neshama. So we have our neshama, right, the soul, and Hashem dwells in the soul.
The what in the soul?
He dwells in the soul.
Dwells in the soul.
He dwells in the soul itself. Al Gufay, and we know that the neshama is what gives the life. The body is vitality, right? If there's no neshama, the neshama leaves the body is just a body. L'kabel ol malchus shemayim, and accept upon ourselves the ol malchus shemayim, right? Hashem over us. Hashem, to choose Hashem. You have to always give thanks to Hashem, praise Hashem. Haidul Hashem ki tov ki li olam chazda, right? Like we sang downstairs before, right? Right, Rikod, right? Haidul Hashem ki tov ki li olam chazda. Give thanks to Hashem because Hashem is always good. He is always good. V'frat l'shtadel l'hoides b'chatzos halayla. And if you can, like we learned so importantly, if you can get up chatzos, around chatzos, at least before Alos HaShachar, right? And thank Hashem then. Spend the time then to thank. That's the most precious time that we have. It's quiet then. V'shpachos David HaMelech Olav HaShalom. Like the praises that David HaMelech gave to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'soifa Yizka L'S'alois Al Yedei Midas HaMalchus HaKadosh. You'll be able to raise yourself up through the midah of Malchus, right? Why? Because again, if you take upon yourself, you're thanking Hashem, right? And you recognize Hashem, and you make Hashem. You become part. You become one of HaKadosh Baruch Hu's constituents, right? You accept upon Hashem upon you, right? You become one with Hashem, right? You accept Hashem, so then you have the Malchus with you. And again, we said Malchus is peh, right? The Malchus is peh. What does peh mean? Mel. Right, the speech is a malchus. That's malchus speech. So if I use my speech in order to praise Hashem, to thank Hashem, so therefore I can acquire malchus and I can acquire the ol malchus shemayim. Okay? Shekein anu matzian sheDavid zacha bezois lemelucha nimsa master gamash lemes midas hamalchus aydei midas hahoid. David HaMelech, right? He started out his life. He certainly started out his life with the short straw, right? It didn't work out too good for him in the beginning of his life, but he was always happy. He didn't care. David HaMelech was always
What do
singing.
you mean it didn't work out for him early? Just because he was a shepherd?
He was not accepted in his own family. He was the black sheep of his family, right? Right? Today, what would they do? That my goodness, today, right? That something like that would happen. They'd put that person on all kind of medication, all kind of things, right? It'll be. But you see, you don't need it. You don't need it. You just come to praise Hashem, thank Hashem for everything. He was so happy. He understood. David HaMelech understood that he was living on borrowed time, right? He was supposed to, the Gemara tells us that he was supposed to be born as a stillborn. So he said, listen, I'm alive. I can walk around. I can talk. I can do things. He didn't care. And through him praising Hashem and always singing to Hashem is how he gained the Malchus. Got it? He was the king. Right? His praising brought him literally to the kingship. To the king. He was the king. Can you believe that? This black sheep in the family became the king of Klal Yisrael. Not only that, is David Malka Mashiach, right? He's the Melech HaMashiach. We're waiting for David HaMelech, right? He's going to come real soon. So that's how you understand now the Midah of Hod Sheba Malchus. Give praise to Hashem, just like David HaMelech did it. And David HaMelech acquired the Malchus, right? So too we can do the same thing. We just need to praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's such an important lesson, just to realize to constantly praise HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Does everyone agree with that? Yeah, it's an amazing thing to do. There's so much good we have to always thank Hashem for. So much good. I know it's always difficult because there's so many problems, and we just focus on the problem, but we don't focus on how good things really are. Oh, but I have this problem. Okay, what about everything else is going well? Right? What about everything else is going well?
It's going just as it's supposed to.
Yeah.
No, there's some peace in that. I mean, because even if you have a problem, it's like, oh, so I have to figure out how to deal with this because that's why I have it.
That's right.
So
Yeah.
I'm presented with challenges all the time.
No, like people that have, there are some people that have like financial issues, right? They have financial problems, right? So picture now this, there's a guy laying in the hospital, same age, same amount of kids, everything else, and now he has no way at all, he's laid up. He's sick, right? How many times is that like that? There are plenty of like that. So if you realize whatever I have, thank you Hashem, I have my health. Thank you Hashem, right? If the person is not so, he has a health issue, okay, and he has his money, so he thanks Hashem for that. And if he doesn't have his money, he doesn't have his health, he has people his friends, and to help him, so then he'll thank Hashem. Whatever, there's always something to thank Hashem for. And that's really what we're supposed to focus on. So that's Hod Sheba Malchus. And to realize that really the whole idea of the Sefira is to really get us closer to Hashem, closer to the Torah. That's the whole point of the Sefira, right? To get us away from all of the nonsense of the world. All right? Any questions on that? Or you accept that? Yeah? Okay. Wow. It's kind of warm here, huh?
Doesn't work.
I think we turned on the heat today.
It doesn't seem like it's working.
I think the window and the door is doing better.
Yeah.
18.
You get the door, I'll get the window.
Maybe it's on the sun. Maybe that little sun is out there. No?
Check.
You did. Okay. All right. Anyway. Either way. Hey, David, how you doing? Okay. So now we're going to turn to Likutey Halachos. Baruch Hashem. We have such a schus to learn the Rebbe's Torah. Baruch Hashem, Baruch Hashem. It's okay, Sasha? Okay, מה לעשות? Okay, it'll be good. Hashem will cool the place down for us. Okay, so we're learning in Likutey Halachos. Again, we're learning for the well-being of our chayalim and the chatufim, and we thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu that they were able to rescue four people, unbelievable, and they seem that like they're somewhat okay. They seemed okay. Baruch Hashem. Amazing.
It's coming out.
That's the windows. That's the window. It's coming out. Hashem sending us the window. Very low. All right, well, together with that, with the window, we got okay. All right, so, and we lost one soldier. Wow, such a special person. Everyone,
Commander.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
But he was a good guy, such a good guy. They're all good. Every single one of them are good. These are the best people that we have in the world. These are the real true heroes. These are the true heroes. Amazing, mamash, wow. It's very humbling when you meet these people and you see what these people do. It's really humbling, right? It's really humbling. It's so amazing. Okay, so let's learn the Rebbe's Torah. That's also very humbling. And we see how great the Rebbe, right? Here we go. So we're in Likutey Halachos Kriya Shema. We're in Halacha Hey, and we're in the middle of letter Hey. Remember we left off on Erev Shabbos, right? We left off in the middle of Hey. We didn't get the Vav.
We didn't get a vote?
No.
Hey is 5?
5. Yeah, 5. We didn't get we're going to get the Vav now. Right before the end, right before the end. We ended off Nimsa Sheshnei HaPerushim Shedarshu Rabbeinu Zal Al Teva Shema. The two explanations that the rabbis gave us for the word Shema. You see that? You see that? Yeah? Okay. That's what we're up to. All right? And what were the two things that the Chazal gave us? That was this. Hashemei loznecha b'chol loshen chata shemeya. Make sure you can understand, you hear. Make sure you hear what you're saying, right? Enunciate the words so you can hear it. And say it in a way that you understand it. Because you're supposed to understand the statement that you make. Right? Shehem oilim b'kon echad, they're really one path. It's really one. Why? Because you can only hear something if you understand it. Hear it and accept it. Yeah. If you understand it, if you hear something, you don't understand it, so then it made no difference to you. If you wanted to make a difference and you want it to affect you, you have to understand it. So really, hearing what you're saying and understanding what you're saying is really one thing, because you can't have one without the other. If you don't say it, you can't hear it. If you hear it and you don't understand it, then it's useless. Okay? Kidor sh'linyan shetzrichen la'shemei la'oznacha. La'oznav shema. Hashemei la'oznacha masha d'moitzi mipicha b'gam dor sh'linyan shemuter loimer kriya shema b'chol loshen. You could say kriya shema in any language, and that's a big chiddush, right? We spoke about that a lot, right? It's a big chiddush. It's a big chiddush that you can say the shema in any language that you want. Right? In any language that you understand, right? In any language you understand, you can say the Shema. That you can hear and you understand. Ushneim oilim b'kan echad hainu, Shema Shemei loznecha mashat ha'moitzi mipicha, shetate oznecha v'libecha heite b'chol yoim l'mashat ha'moitzi mipicha. Every day, pay attention to the words you're saying. Pay attention to the words that you're saying every day. Don't listen to somebody else. Don't listen to what you're saying. Listen to the statements that you make. Is that amazing? Really, it's a simple statement, but it's very deep, right? To listen to what you're saying. You're saying amazing things. Listen to those words. And every day it should be new, because he said every day we get a special light from Hashem comes down. Every day Hashem there's something different in the world. We perceive Hashem differently every day. So every day you have to do this. And let me see, how do I see you today, Hashem? Let me see how I find you in my life today. Then you can serve Hashem And you can, with any of the languages of the 70 nations, right? Of the 70 nations, it makes no difference what language it is, as long as you're finding Hashem. You got it? The main point is to find Hashem. Ki Hashem hine lo yonim v'lo yishon. Shemi, so we know those words, right? We say that a lot now, right? In the Tehillim, right? It's in the Tehillim of Kuf Chav Aleph, right? Right? We're saying that a lot now. Amazing. Hine lo yonim v'lo yishon. Hashem is not sleeping. Hashem doesn't abandon us. Hashem is there with us. Even though we have the difficulties things that pass through our lives, right? We have different challenges and trials and tribulations that we go through in our lives. As everyone knows, right? Everyone knows their trials and tribulations in life, right? Hashem does his part with a tremendous amount of chesed. He's always behind the scenes. Hashem is always behind the scenes he's preparing everything for us and taking care of us. Look at these words. That Hashem does these wondrous things himself. He does all these wondrous things. Why? Because Hashem has built the world with chesed. Olam chesed yibana. Hashem is always turning towards chesed. Like we learned so many times. Hashem renews everything every day. Everything is brand new every day. And he illuminates the world with his glory, with his honor, with his light. So like we said so many times, we're going to see it again now. When we see the light, we see the sun. We think we're seeing the sunlight. But the sunlight is really what? It's really Hashem. You're seeing HaKadosh Baruch Hu in your life. That's what you're really seeing. You're seeing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Therefore, no matter what happens, no matter what transpires on a person, whatever transpires, you have to remember this at every moment. Look, you see these words that he says here? Look at these words. It's simple. It's amazing. You have to remember by yourself that what? Shehu ish Yisraeli. We're Israeli, right? Ish Yisraeli. Isn't that nice? Yes, you like those words?
Ish Yisraeli.
Ish Yisraeli.
That's who we are.
Ish Yisraeli, right? Amazing. We're Jews, right? We're Jews. We have to remember that. The world doesn't let us forget that today, right? They help us with that. Right? The world is helping us with this statement, right? The world helps us to remember that we're Jewish today, right? But we have to, right? They do, right? They help us remind us. They remind us, right? Yeah. But we have to be proud of that. That we're an Ish Yisraeli or Mom and Billy, and we believe in Hashem. We don't believe in the media. We don't believe in the governments. We don't believe in people. We don't believe in science. We believe in Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the life source. He's the life of the world. Hashem is the world. Whatever I find myself in, I find myself twisted, wound up in. I remember Hashem, you're with me. I remember it's you. I remember I'm with you, Hashem. It doesn't matter what it is. And then you can always connect yourself to Hashem no matter where you find yourself. Isn't this so? This is so thrilling to read this, right? Wherever you are, you can find Hashem. You can connect to Hashem. Remember that you're a Jew. Remember you're a Jew. You have that neshama, like we just said. The neshama. Hashem is in the neshama. Hashem is with me. Hashem, no matter where you go, Hashem is with you. You can always be connected to Hashem no matter where you are. Even if a person fell into the pit of hell, If he's in the doom, he's in the dumps, really in the dumps. He can still connect to Hashem because Hashem is there too. We're just going to finish Vav now, Yossi. Okay? K'maya mivaya mizeh b'devarav bekama makoymos, and Rabbi Nachman spoke about this so many times, so many places. Rabbi Nassim is going to constantly remind us this all through Likutey Halachos. He gives us these beautiful pep talks that we really need, right? We need these things. We need these words. No matter where you are, you can always connect to Hashem. Hashem is there with you. Everyone has to do this, because this is the true secret of everything. No matter where you find yourself, know that you're with Hashem. This is the true secret. This is the yesod. No matter where you go, no matter where you find yourself, you're always with Hashem. That means you can never be alone. You're never, ever alone. We're never alone. Hashem is always there with you. You just have to tap into that. And you have to believe it. Okay? Be matzliach. Now let's learn Vav. So Vav, we're going to learn now the time for Kriya Shema. We spent a lot of that time. We spent a lot of time. Rav Nosson is going to give us a new twist on the understanding the timing of why we say the Shema, when we say the Shema, and so on. So here we go. But first, I want to give you a little bit of introduction to this. Okay, based on what we will learn, based on the parsha that we read yesterday in Bamidbar. Right? How you like that, right? So the Mishkan, we had the Mishkan, and there were 4 flags, right? There were four groups, right? There were 4 groups of 3 gave us 12, right? And there was a flag on each corner of the base of the Mishkan, right? On each corner there was another flag, right? All right, and then we're going to understand now that the months are also grouped together in 3s, right? They're at the different kufos, right? We have the kufa of Nisan, right? We have the kufa of Nisan, and then we have the kufa which is connected to Yehuda, and then we have the kufa of Tammuz, which is connected to Ruvain, and we have the kufa of Tishrei, which is connected to Ephraim, all right? And then the last kufa is Teves, and that's connected to Dan. All right. Now we heard that. This is the parsha yesterday. Right? It was telling us where the Shvatim were and the whole, and we had how they organized, and then as they were traveling, how they traveled with their flags. Remember? Right? Okay. Valkein Zman Kriya Shema Shel Shachris Ad Revi Hayom. So therefore, the Zman of Kriya Shema is a fourth of the day, right? The day is divided up into four sections, the 12 hours, right? You have 12 hours of the day, right? The day is divided up into 12 hours. You have 24 hours in a day. There's 12 hours of the day, 12 hours of the night. Okay, 12 hours. So the 12 hours is divided up into 4 sections of 3. So the first section of 4, the first of the 4 sections is the first 3 hours of the day, right? And that's the first 3 hours that we say Shema, because we want to be in the first one, which is connected again to Nisan, which is connected to Yehuda. Yehuda was the flag. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Shall Kriya Shema Heim Kineged Shneim Asa Chadashim. So we already established that the 12 words of Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad and Baruch Shem Kivay Malchusay Le'olam Va'ed is 12. Right? We established that
12 hours a day.
12 hours and 12 Shvatim. 12 months. Yes. There we go. Sheheim Bechina Shneim Esrei Shois Hayom. Right? There are 12 hours of daylight of the day of the time that's called day. Sheim kineged shneim also tzirufei havaya kamuva, and that's connected again, like we learned 2 days ago, right? We learned the idea that there are 12 different. What was the word that you used that you could annotate? What was it? Permutations. There are 12 different permutations of Hashem's name because again, it's 4 letters. So 4 letters can be divided up into 3. 3 times 3 gives you 12. So it's amazing how all these things are connected. Yeah.
So I see a little bit where he's going. He's trying to talk about the flags. Is he almost saying that it's like a clock?
Yeah. Yossi. Yes, he said.
Okay.
It's not a clock exactly, but close.
That's
Also shiftei ka. And that's connected again to it's an aspect of the 12 tribes. The 12 tribes. So you have all these 12s, right? You have 12 months, 12 the hours of the day, 12 hours of the night. We have 12 different permutations of Hashem's name. And then we have this 12 shvatim. Okay, pretty good, right? Shneim also shvatim, sheim arba. Okay, shehem bechinas arba de golem, and the 12 shvatim had 4 flags.
yeah.
4 flags. Again, 4 letters in Hashem's name. Yud Kei Vav Kei, 4 flags, right? Ukinegdam heim arba tekufos hashana, and then you have the 4 sections of the year. Like we said, we have Nisan, right? Tammuz, right? Okay, Tishrei and Teves, right? V'chol zeh kineged shneim also tzirufei havaya sheim klulim ba'arba oiseis Hashem, the 12 different permutations that are connected to the 4 letters of Hashem's name. V'alkei nechlak hayoim la'arba chalokim, and therefore the day is divided up into 4 chalokim. So now we'll learn something now. We understand. Why is the day divided up into the different sections that it's divided up into? Because that connects to Hashem's name. Okay, Yud Kei Vav Kei, the 12 permutations. We learned this idea that really every hour, we learned this when it came to Balak, to Balak. Right, we're going to learn about Balak soon, it's coming up, right? He knew that section, that split second that Hashem gets angry, right? Based on the hours, he understood that. Balak was able to tap into that. So there's a lot of different things going on based on the hours of the day. Okay? V'ikar Kriya Shema ad Revi Hayon. And Kriya Shema is till the first quarter of the day. Right? Shu Shaloi Shois Keneged Degel Machne Yehuda. Right? Why Degel Machne Yehuda? Because Yehuda was, again, the months of Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan. Right, that's Yehuda. He was the first one. The first 3 months connect to Yehuda. Shekolu mishalei shvatim shahaya chaynes samach lamishkan, that they were connected to the 3 shvatim that were connected to the Mishkan. Vikas galas elekusai. That what was that? The Machne Yehuda. He had 3. There were 3 shvatim together with him. And therefore he was staying by the side of the Mizrach. Right? That's why he was staying on the side of the Mizrach. Kihu neged shloish shois harishonos. That's the first 3 hours. Sha'az maskil zrichas hashemesh mi Mizrach. And that's when the sun comes up from the East, exactly. The sun comes up from the east. Does it come up from the east, Yossi? Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Okay, V'al Kain, Kol Yisrael, Nikrayim Yehudim. Look at this. That's why we're called Yehudim. How do you like that? We're called Yehudi, right? Al Shem Yehuda, because of Yehuda. How did Yehuda get his name? Do you remember?
Leah.
Leah said, Hapam Oda Es Hashem, right? Hapam Oda Es Hashem, right? Leah wanted to always thank Hashem for giving her son Yehuda. So she said, I'll name him Yehuda, means I'm always giving thanks to Hashem. Like today's Sefira. Today's Sefira is Oid Sheba Malchus, right? Connected to Yehuda. Right? Yehuda is Malchus, right? Yeah. Okay, Kamei Shamra Beisenu Zal Sheikra Munasenu Nikra Al Shem Yehuda Kamei Shamra Al Pasuk Ish Yehudi. We know in the Megillah we would call this Mordechai at Tzaddik was called Ish Yehudi. Remember we learned that Ish Yehudi, and it says now, and who is a Yehudi? Kol HaKoifer Ba'Avodah Zarah Nikra Yehudi. Anyone that doesn't believe, and he's kaifer. What's a good word for kaifer you want to use? That he's I know it's heretic, but he's a heretic against Avodah Zarah, right? Zealot, heretic. Okay, whatever. We understand. He's against anyone that's against Avodah Zarah. Let's do it like that. Anyone that's against Avodah Zarah, Nikra Yehudi. He's called a Yehudi. How do you like that?
Okay.
You're against Avodah Zarah, you're called a Yehudi. Ki ikar is galas emuna hu b'Mishkan shesham chayna samach. Right?
Well, I mean, we're called a Jew because, right, you and I, we're from the tribe of Yehuda, and that's all there's left.
Okay, but
I don't know. I mean, that's what. Why? What is he saying? The deeper meaning behind why we're called a Jew is because of Hodah.
Every Jew is called a Yehudi.
Well, we only know, right, so I guess
He's saying every Jew, no matter what tribe you're from.
Kohanim and
Kohanim, it's
right?
true. Kohanim. We only have Levi and Yehuda left, since they were all mixed up.
Yeah.
So that's why that's what I've always been taught. To tell people like that, I'm not saying there's not a deeper meaning.
Okay.
So the idea being, why did we get that particular tribe? Because that's the first.
That's the first one. That's our Amunah comes from. The whole thing of Nisan is Amunah. The whole thing of Pesach is Amunah. The whole Yontif of Pesach is Amunah.
Meaning that where their flag is, where their placement is, the hour of the day.
The hour of the day, exactly.
Is there Hashem's name also associated with each one of these four?
Yeah,
quadrants?
he's connected to the Yud.
Oh, he's going to do the letters.
Yeah, we're going to get into it. So
I'm just wondering. No,
Yeah.
You know how you made a chart once? You did
okay, so I'll make you another chart. Okay.
Each quadrant have a name of Hashem.
Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to this. Hold
Can't
on.
tease us like that, I think.
When we're building this up, we're building it. Okay. V'zeh gam kein bechinas tekufa rishona. That's connected to the first tekufa, the first season. Right? There are 4 seasons. Right? There are 4 seasons also, right? In the year, right? Yeah. Right? You have the spring, now. Right?
We're still in Yehuda. Is that right?
Yes. Shehu tekufas Nisan. That's the tekufa of Nisan. Okay? We're in that tekufa right now. We're in the season of Nisan, which is Chodesh Ha'aviv, right? Which is the spring, right? That's the spring, right? We're still in the spring. Shekolo mishleisha chadashim shehem Nisan, Iyar, v'Sivan. Here we go. He spells it out for you now. The first, what do you call it? The first season is connected the 3 months, Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan, right? Which we're now in the Sivan, right? Today, right? We're trying to get to 6 Sivan, right? That's Kabbalah Satara. Today we're in the Shleishas Yemei Hagbala. That's what we're in the middle of right now. Okay? Shebahem Ikar Zrichas is Galas Emuna. That's when the Amunah is shining the greatest. Okay? It shines the greatest in this tekufa. Shehischil Hashem Yisbarach Legalais Elohoyer Bonu B'hara Gedayla B'Nisan Ayideya Oises Amaisim Isgalas Nifla B'Pesach B'Yitzias Mitzrayim. Right? The HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us a lot of beautiful miracles. Right? We had the splitting of the sea. Kabbalah Satayra, everything happened in this time. So it's a lot of emunah is connected to this time. Do we agree with that? Okay. Ba'achakach Seifrim Arbaim B'Teisha Yemei HaSefira Shehem Hachana LaKabbalah Satayra. Hey, how do you like that? Then we count the 49 days of Sefira. Today's day 47. Isn't that nice? Come on. Today's day 47. Oh, and that's the 49 letters that's in Kriya Shema. Right? The Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad Baruch Hashem Baruch Hashem. That's 49 letters, right? Remember learned that, right? 49 letters. 49 days of Sefira. Shem Kineged Arba V'Teisha Oisei Shav Shvatim. And if you spell out the names of the Shvatim, Reuven, Shimon, Levi, Yehuda, Yisachar, Zevulun, and the God, right? Right? You spell all the names out. What do you get? 49 letters. Write out each one of the Shvatim. Count up the letters of their names. You have 49. Is that fascinating? It is. Zoichin b'Sivan b'chodesh hashlishi, and then Emetz Hashem will be Zoicha in the third month, Sivan, that we're in right now. L'Kabbalah Torah b'Shuas. Isn't that? Come on, is this so sweet? Come on, is this? It's a present, right? Come on. Rav Nassim doesn't speak about Shuas too often. Not yet, right? His Shuas. Shu Iker is Galus Emunah. That's the main revelation of Emunah. When we were standing on Maimed HaSinai, and Hashem opened up the 7 Rakiyim, right? He opened up those 7 firmaments, right? And we saw everything. And it said that even the Shifcha, the maidservant, was able to see and had greater revelation than even Yecheskel ben Buzi had when he had the Maisim Merkava. Right? That's what they say. Chazal tell us that. Hashem made that first statement. That I am Hashem, your God. I am Hashem Elokecha. Anochi Hashem Elokecha. Asher Tzeitzich me'eretz Mitzrayim. I was the one that took you out of Mitzrayim. Nimsa. So we find from this. Now let's. He's gonna tie it all together now. Shikir is Galus Emuna hu bechinas Degel Machna Yehuda. So Machna Yehuda, the camp of Yehuda, Judah, the camp of Judah, the camp of Yehuda. With his flag. That was the flag of Emunah. Right? Because again, why? Because he's connected to the first of the seasons, which is the season in which is Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan. That flag, which is connected again to the east, where the sun comes up, to show that it's all Hashem. It's not someone else. You don't serve the sun, because the sun is coming up because of Hashem, the east. He had his flag on the east. Isn't that nice? Everything is so particular. Everything is so meticulous. Every nuance of everything that happened is so meticulous. Okay. B'shleisha chadashim harishonim, for the first 3 months. Shebahem Yitzias Mitzrayim Kabbalah Satorah. With them you have Yitzias Mitzrayim and Kabbalah Satorah in the first 3 months, right? Nisan, you have there's the month that we went out of Mitzrayim, and Sivan is where we got the Torah. Year is in the middle, we're counting the Sefira. Okay? Shemisham Meir Hamuna L'chol Yisrael. That's where the Hamuna shines the greatest to Klal Yisrael. L'chol Hashana Kula, and the whole year Keneged Zeh, the whole year, right? All the other 3 seasons are all drawn from this idea, right? So the first one is where the Haskalah is where everything comes from. It starts off with the Hamuna, and it carries us through. It carries us through the entire year. L'chol Hashana. In contrast to this, Iktar Amshachas Emuna B'chol Yoim B'Kriyas Shema Hu B'Revi Hayoim Harishon. Right, and that's why we say the Kriyas Shema specifically in the first 3 hours. We want to be in that window. We want to be in that window in the morning. We want to be in that window of the first quarter of the day, which is 3 hours, right? Keneged, against the flag of Yehuda, which is the first of the seasons, which was the 3 tribes that were connected to Yehuda, which are connected, right? All these things, all these beautiful ideas. Taikishu Shalosh Shois Rishon is the first 3 hours. Shem Keneged Degel Harishon, the first one, Chu Machna Yehuda, or Keneged Shleisha Chadashim Rishonim, Shem Nisan Iyar V'Sivan. Amazing, right? It's really, truly amazing how Nassim puts this together. Did you ever know any of these things, right? The flags have to do with it made a difference where he was standing and why he had to stand over here and this one stood over there. You just read it. That's what happened. You would think it was something haphazard. No, but everything is so meticulous. Unbelievable how each thing works out. Okay. Any questions on this? Or we go further? Do we
know what time of day the Torah was given?
It was given early in the morning.
It was given also.
And that's the problem, that we were sleeping, remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we make the tikkun.
You would say.
Yeah. Yeah, but we yeah.
You were sleeping?
Yeah.
Zohar, that's the first instance. I just read an article on this of Tikkun Leil Shavuos that we have is from the Zohar, referencing this point. Hashem's ready to give the Torah, and we're sleeping. So as a tikkun for that, we stay up all night.
Yeah, you said it right. Absolutely.
I wasn't sleeping. Wasn't there.
You were there. We were all there. We were all there. We were all there. Yeah. Okay. And so, we got these ideas. There's a lot of information here, right? It's a lot of information, but it's a lot, but it's not, right? Because he really broke it down for us pretty nice, right? So we understand all these 12s, right? Just review it real quick, right? We have the 12s. We have the 12 months. We have the 12 tribes. We have the 12 words. We have 12 hours, right? All these 12s. And all these 12s are all intertwined. And in the 12 connotations of Hashem's name, right, the permutations of Hashem's name that you can make from the 12, right? Okay. So we said that Yehuda is, and then we have the four seasons, right? The 4 seasons, right? Connected the 4 flags, right? 4 seasons, 4 flags. The first flag is Yehuda, and he was on the side of the east. He was standing on the east. Why the east? Because that's where the sun comes up. Right? The sun comes up on the east, so Yehuda was on the east to show that the sun comes up because Hashem wills the sun to come up. Emunah, right? Which is connected the months of Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan, right? The months of Nisan, Iyar, and Sivan. Nisan is the month that Hashem did all the miracles, right? All the miracles for us. We got out of Mitzrayim. The month of Iyar, we were in the desert and we were eating the man, right? Hashem gave us the man, right? We had all that, amazing, right? The man's amazing, right? The man was truly something truly amazing. I'll tell you something interesting. You know that when you have your challah, right? So we have a challah board, right? So most people think they have a challah board because it's practical, right? I need to cut my bread on something. I need a board, right? And then we put a cover on the challah, right? And we think that's also, it's not nice with the kiddush and all of that, so I have to cover the bread and all of that, right? But really, it's deeper than that. The reason why you have a board underneath your challah, because when Hashem gave us the man, He gave us a layer of tal, dew. He gave us a layer of dew.
Right.
Right? Because again, think about it. We were in the desert. What do you have in the desert? Sand. Now, if your food was sitting in the sand, would that be pretty good? No. Right? So what Hashem did, He made a nice layer of dew, but it was a thick layer of dew. It wasn't like the dew we have now. It was a thick layer of dew. And that's the board that we put underneath our challah. Right? Then we put the challah on the board, and then but then wait a second. All the sand would blow and everything else. So Hashem made another layer of dew, a thick layer of dew on top of the mud. So that way it protected it. That's why we have the cover on the challah.
So should we put some sand under the board so it reminds us?
Well, it's actually not a bad educational idea.
You can, you can.
Almost like the Pesach saying, but that's a very nice idea. I never heard that.
Okay. You put a little sandbox on your table.
A little bag of sand maybe or something.
Yeah, okay. You can do that. I've never seen it, but just understand that each thing we do, I'm just trying to always show you, there's such beauty in each thing that we do. Nothing is haphazard. We're not doing things haphazardly. All the minhagim that we have are really, really well rooted and well founded. Okay? Let's go weiter, okay? Guys, all right, good? Okay. Zion. V'zeh bechinas kriya shema shel shachris u'kriya shema shel arvis. All right, so now we know again. Again, remember, guys, I just wanted to understand something. We're finishing up, halacha hey is the last halacha of kriya shema. So Reb Nosson is going to go over a lot of points, but he's adding stuff too. He's reviewing and he's adding, okay? So we learned that we have to say kriya shema both in the evening and in the morning, right? We have to say at least shema 2 times a day, at least 2 times. The Arizal says you're supposed to say at least 4 times a day. But anyway, at least 2 times. Zeh bechinas Kriya Shema shel Shachris, Kriya Shema shel Arvis, or Kriya Shema shel Arvis, Zmana, Kol HaLayla, Kol Zman Shchiva. The whole time of Kriya Shema of the night is as long as people are sleeping. Shochet, they're lying down. People are lying down, they're sleeping, you could say Kriya Shema. That's why you could say Shema, you can daven Ma'ariv all the way up to Alos HaShachar. If you didn't daven Ma'ariv, whatever happened, you forgot or whatever the case is, and you get up before Alos HaShachar, you can still daven Ma'ariv. Right? Because again, as long as people are sleeping, you can say the Shema and you didn't do anything, everything is good. Amazing, right? Okay. Kriya Shema shel Shachris ein zmana ki im baboker ad shalosh shois shuzman kima. But the morning Shema is different. That's only the first 3 hours when people are getting up. The first 3 hours that people are getting up. People get up in the first 3 hours, and we said who was the last ones to get up? The kings get up the last. Right? The kings would get up in the last hour, and that's why that's the last time that people are getting up. Again, the Chazal didn't know the way people live today. Right?
Yeah, really.
Today they would probably tell us that Kriya Shema you could say till 3 o'clock in the afternoon or something. But okay, that's... siesta is they always get up and they went back to sleep.
Right.
The siesta is the siesta is when you have your lunch and then you go take a nap.
Yeah.
That's a siesta. Yeah, my friend Guillermo, he taught me that.
Mordecai says so all the time.
Huh?
I'm trying to make a plan with Mordecai. Always siesta.
Oh, okay. Ki is galus it's noitzitz it's elikus shem it's noitzitz meya beleva adam zeh bechinas richas or abayker. That feeling that you get in your heart, you get a feeling. You get that special feeling that comes upon a person's heart, that illuminates in a person. That's from the sun. That's from the shining of the sun of the morning. But we said the shining of the sun in the morning only shines because of Hashem, right? We established that. Ki ika or Hashemesh hu or Hashem is bar. Oh, hey, look at those words, my favorite words. Ki ika or Hashemesh hu or Hashem is bar. You see that? Yes, you like those words? The sunlight that you're seeing. You see the sunlight? You're seeing Hashem's light. You're looking at Hashem's light. See the sunlight we have now? We're looking mamish at Hashem's light. Look at the words. Ki ika or Hashemesh, the main light that you see from the sun. The main light that you see from the sun, Hu or Hashem Yisbarach. Shemimenu me'irin kol ha'oros. And from him comes all light. All light comes from Hashem. K'maisha kotzev, Hashem oiri ve'ishi. Hashem is my light and my salvation, right? Hashem is my light. We say that in David Hashem oiri, where we say that in the whole month of Elul, right? The whole month of Elul we're saying David Hashem oiri. Hashem is my light. The same way we see in the morning that the sun breaks through. It's bokeya, right? What does the word bokeya mean? It breaks through, right? It breaks through bokeya. Or Hashemesh mi mizrach from the east, like we established, right? Umeya al pinei tevel. It lights up the whole world. We say this in the morning in the Birchas Yitzar. Hashem opens up the doors. He opens up those doors from the east that shine the light. And he opens up the windows. Chalone Reki, isn't that beautiful? The chalone, the windows of the heavens. Hashem has windows up on heaven in Shemayim also. He opens up the window. He opens up the shades. He picks up the tracing, right? Hashem picks up the tracing in the morning. He lifts up the tracing, right? Chalone K'Moshe Kosev Oz Yibaka Shachar Oyrecha. Right? The Navi Yeshaya says that's the time that Hashem breaks open from the darkness and He lets the light shine through. Hashem opens up the dark, He pulls away the darkness, and then the light shines through. Fascinating. Hashem Hashem, when any time He helps us. Remember today is the day of Hod Sheba Malchus. It's all about thanking Hashem, right? Yossi, you weren't here before, but we said that David HaMelech practiced this a lot. He was always thanking Hashem, and he attained Malchus.
From that.
See that? Malchus Sheba, Hod Sheba Malchus. Give Hodah, and look, you can get Malchus. Isn't that nice?
So if we do that, we can attain Malchus?
You can get Malchus, yeah. You'll be the king of your abode.
Yeah.
That's good, okay, that's good, right? Shemeya u'misnaitzes believe it's naitzes elikus. That it lights and illuminates our hearts. This spark, this feeling of Hashem. Shu bechinas bekias or mamish. That's a shining light in us. Hashem shines light into us to make us feel closer to Him, to give us those feelings. We have to thank Hashem for that. Shepitom nivka hadas umeya oire yizbarach. That sometimes you're trying to understand something and all of a sudden, it clicks. You ever feel that? Right? You're trying to understand something, you're trying to get something, and all of a sudden, it clicked in, and wow, that feeling. Where did it come from? Hashem gave it to you. Hashem gave you that understanding. I was trying to understand it for so long, all of a sudden I got it. Where did it come from? That's Hashem, is by K-A-R. He opens up the light, He breaks open, He gives you the light. You can't explain this to your friend. When that happens, right? So simple, right, guys? When that happens, you can't explain that. That's such a feeling that you have. That's a simcha you have. You can't really explain it. You can't explain that. You're struggling with something for some time, and all of a sudden you get it. You can't explain that. That's something you just feel for yourself. The same way we said that you can't really explain to your friend about emunah because you can understand it yourself. The same way when these things happen to you, you can't really explain them. You just thank Hashem. Hashem, I don't even know where this came from, but thank you, Hashem. The whole darkness and light comes from this idea. Darkness is when Hashem is not shining in your life, and light is when Hashem is shining in your life. That's what dark and like we said, like we learned in Hilchos Birchas HaShachar, right? That we said Hashem is noisen lasech v'ivina lahavchin bein yom uvein loyla. Right? Hashem give us the discernment to discern between day and night. Day and night means understanding when Hashem is in my life and Hashem's not in my life. Right? Ki Hashem is bara ha'olam she'iyah or v'chayshach. Hashem made the world in that way. There should be both light and darkness. Hashem wants there to be light and darkness. He made it that way. Dahainu she'ez galus oirei livnei adam lo yiyah kavua b'tmidus b'shava. Hashem made it specifically that things are not always equal. Not always equal in our lives. We don't always feel the same thing. We don't always feel the same thing. Why? Ki tanik to me the einai tanik. Because if you're always eating, if you have a tonic, you like something, right? And you're always eating that same thing. You're always enjoying the same thing. After a while, you don't like it anymore, right? Right? The guy loves chocolate ice cream, and he eats chocolate ice cream in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, and he eats it for snacks, and he eats it all day long. At the end, he says, "I don't want to see any more chocolate ice cream."
That's never happened to me.
No, I'm just giving you. No. If you have something and you always enjoy it, so then where's the you lose the enjoyment. Yeah. So if you always had Hashem in your life, and Hashem never He never hid Himself from you, then you would never appreciate Hashem. When Hashem hides Himself from you, and then He comes back, then you appreciate Him. Now you understand why Hashem runs the world the way He does, right? No, you don't understand. Okay.
Not really. I mean.
Okay, because Hashem is doing it to keep everything interesting.
Right.
There you go.
If all you had was chocolate ice cream to eat forever, you'd gag from it.
You would hate it.
Birds, quail.
Huh?
Quail. I'm just they wanted meat, so they
gagged from it.
They did. The gam ki hayu mispatlin b'mitzias va'al kain b'chachmasei bara yiyah or v'chayshach. And therefore, with Hashem's wisdom, Hashem's ultimate wisdom, Hashem made it in that way that there'll be darkness and there'll be light. And the darkness always precedes the light, right? It's always dark then you can get the light. Now we understand why sometimes you feel close to Hashem and then other times you don't feel so close to Hashem. That's part of the plan. If you always felt close to Hashem, then you wouldn't be close to Hashem. But if you lose it a little bit, and then you come back, and it means so much more.
It's interesting.
That's one of the reasons I like to travel back to America. Because sometimes I'm always here. I don't appreciate Eretz Yisrael. And I go away and I go, oh.
And then also you get a nice geschmackness over there too. Sometimes.
No, that's not the point. The point is, again, you gotta go away in order to accept it, to appreciate it.
So is there a connection?
Yeah.
Because there's first.
That's for me. I mean, everyone's different. Yeah.
First there's darkness, then there's light.
Yeah.
And that's the way Hashem wanted to create the universe.
Yes.
With darkness and
then light. Yeah.
He did it with light first, chesed, and then din. It's almost like.
Well, he's going to explain. No, but he says here, look at the next in the words. But Hashem makes the darkness before the light. The darkness is before. The night, our day begins at night. Right? Our day begins at night. It doesn't begin in the day. It begins at night. Why? Because again, the darkness comes before the light. Okay? Ki choshech nimshach mebechinas hatzimtzum v'astora she'Hashem yisbarach mitzamtzem u'master oiroi bebechinas achein ata el mistater. Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes himself hidden. He hides himself. He hides himself. Again, we even know that in the first section of the night, Hashem gives over the control to the matron Nusa, the Gemara says. He gives over his control. He gives over control. He hides himself. Mamash. Hashem's hidden in the first section of the night. He starts revealing himself again by Chatzos. Right? The main thing is at Chatzos. That's when Hashem takes back the control from the matrons. And that's the time that you can start praising Hashem. And that's why it's it's such an auspicious time. Kidei l'sakein bechinas kli, in order to make a rectification with the aspect of the kli, the vessel, shenuchel lekabel or ba'darga v'mida. In other words, for the kli, in order to be able to accept Hashem with the proper measure. With the proper measure, you have to make your kli, prepare the kli. What's the kli we're talking about? Our mind. The mind, right? That's why we say Shema in the morning. Hashem gives us the light, that package that comes to us as the Sefira, remember? And it comes and it cleanses up our mind. It gets our mind ready to accept the light, right? That's what we're talking about. The Kli. It has to get the Kli ready. What's the Kli? The Kli gets ready via getting up early in the morning and saying the Shema early in the morning. We get the light and it prepares the Kli so we can have the Chesed during the day. Okay, v'chein hu b'chol pam, b'chol darga v'darga, l'chol echad kifi madregosai. And this is the same system, how it works with every person on every level that they find themselves. In other words, Hashem always brings the darkness first, and then He gives you the light. Darkness, you search out Hashem, then Hashem reveals Himself, you get to the light, then Hashem again hides Himself, you search for Hashem, you find Hashem again, you go up to the next level. And that's how it keeps going. That's how we go from one level to the next. Okay, through darkness, light. Darkness, light. Right? Umisham nimshach gam choshech v'or shel hayom masha Hashem Yisbarach mechadesh b'chol yom tov b'maseh bereishis. And Hashem Yisbarach makes everything brand new each day. We can never learn this enough. That every day, everything is mamish brand new. Every day, everything is totally nothing to do with yesterday. Even though it seems like it, but it's really brand new. Hamachadish betuvay b'chol yom tamid masei bereishis. V'goylil or mipnei choshech. Look at this. Hashem is golel. He moves around the light in order to let the choshech in. He takes the sun. He sets the sun. He's golel the or, he sets the sun so that way the night can come in. And then in the morning he puts away the darkness so the sun can come in. Right? V'choshech mipnei or. V'akol b'shvil sheyischadei sha'or b'chol yom. So that way there should be a new light every single day. And we're hoping for that day that it'll be Or Chodesh Al Tzion Toyah. V'niskeh chulonu meheira li'orei. We're waiting for that day that Hashem's going to make a light, that all the Jewish people will benefit by Hashem's light. That day. Like we say in the bracha, right? We're waiting. It's the most beautiful words. Those are the most beautiful words. Ki al yedei hachoshech shemastir ha'or. Through darkness, where Hashem hides, He constricts His light. B'chol pam, al yedei zeh zoichen achar kach lekabel ha'or b'schatshus yoysa. Because Hashem hides Himself, now you can accept Hashem in a greater way because He hid Himself. Again, if you have Him if Hashem is always there, it's not a tonic. It's only because Hashem takes Himself away. He hides Himself, and then you can find Hashem, reveal Hashem. Again, the game of hide, go seek. Hashem hides, go find Him, and then you have that great simcha, right? Right? When the same way the kids play that game, hide, go seek, right? Then everyone's happy, right? Everyone's happy.
Even a baby.
Huh?
Even a baby, when you cover your face and then you go like this, the baby goes,
The peekaboo, right? They love the peekaboo, right?
Even before peekaboo, just like that. You know,
Yeah. This great simcha. There's a great simcha, right? Great. That's great. It's a great analogy. Excellent. It's true. Even the baby, right? It's amazing. Lekabel or b'schatshus yoyser, שזה עיקר השלמות שיהיו בכל יום כחדשים. Every day you're supposed to feel the newness, the freshness of the day. B'chinas chadashim labakorim rabba munasecha, right? Words of Eicha, right? Chadashim labakorim, right? The newness of the morning increases our emunah. Okay, what?
Rabbi Reese would always tell a story about maybe the Alter Rebbe, like he was playing hide and go seek with his grandkid.
Yeah.
Do you remember the story?
Yeah. It was, I think it was with the Tzemach Tzedek. Yeah.
That's right. Go on.
Yeah.
Right. They were playing hide and go seek, and he was waiting for his grandfather to play, and then he ends up falling. The Tzemach Tzedek getting hurt, and then crying. And so the grandfather comes running over, to like, what's wrong? So he goes, this is 80. This is not, how do you go seek? You say, find me, that's one thing, but like that when I fell down and now you're here. That's 80. That's my grandfather.
That's exactly what we're learning. That's what we're learning. Yeah. When you fell down and then you find Hashem there, wow, that's such a great simcha. You think you're lost. But then you remember that Hashem is there. Why? Because Hashem dwells in your neshama. We learned that this morning, right? Hashem dwells in your neshama. So that means how could you ever be alone? You can't go anywhere without your neshama. If you do, you won't go anywhere. You can't move.
You feel alone sometimes.
Okay, you feel good, but then search for Hashem. You'll find Him. When you feel alone, search for Hashem. You'll find Him. And then you'll have a great simcha.
You know what I find interesting about this? I have trained myself.
Oh, it's still early. Wow.
I trained myself to ask, why am I feeling this way? Like yesterday, the whole hostage thing happened. On the other side of it, in Hezbollah, they were talking about how. Who are you? Quiet. They were talking about how it's much bigger, and they were able to pinpoint some places, and it's with their weapons, and sirens didn't go off. And I got a little bit concerned. And then I said, wait, why am I being concerned? I don't need to be concerned. It doesn't mean Hashem is here.
He's
He can take care of it. So it's like when I hear something negative, then I ask myself, well, why am I concerned?
Yeah.
And that's really a very freeing kind of.
It does free us. It does. When you realize it's all Hashem is running the whole thing. It's not the Hezbollah, it's not the Hamas, it's not the Houthis, it's all Hashem. It's all Hashem. We just have to trust in Hashem and everything will be all right. That's how you put them all out. If we only believed it, right? If we only believed it. If we only lived that way.
Well, when we're learning, I think, who could, let's say someone said, I don't, it's all made up, it's a story, whatever. No one can make up a story like this. I mean, when you think about some of the things that are all connected and everything, it's like,
Yeah. I know.
No
But people
one
will
can-
still say, right. There are 12 words, 12 months, and 12 hours, and there are 12 different permutations, and then there are 12, the 4 flags, and everything's all made up. It's all made up.
yeah. And then the worlds, the judges, the courts.
Yeah, okay, let's go. Okay, Tzrichin Kriya Shema b'Baiker b'Erev. Oh, so now you know. Now you understand why you need to have the Shema in the night and in the morning, right? Because in the night you need to get your Amunah, and in the day you have to thank Hashem again. You have to prepare the Kli. Ki b'Baiker Ikris Galas b'Erev. Ki b'Baiker Ikris Galas. In the morning, the main revelation of the light is Amunah, right? In the morning, because you see Hashem, you see the light. Uve'erev tzrichin Kriya Shema, we need the Kriya Shema. Why do we need that then? L'sake ayedei zeh bechinas hatzimtzum hakli shebeloi zeh ef shelekabel or. In other words, I have to prepare my mind when it's dark. When I don't see Hashem, I have to prepare my mind with the Amunah in order to be able to accept the light. I need to prepare my mind. The Kli is my mind. I need to prepare my mind. Right? That's why we learned all the things about thoughts. You have to keep the right thoughts in your mind. If you see the right things, you look at the right things, you learn the right things, you read the right things, you'll have good thoughts in your mind. Right? But if you see the wrong things, you read the wrong things, and you're with the wrong people, and you hear it's not going to work out well. Right? The main shining of Hashem's light is in the morning. That we understand. But we still need Hashem's light at night anyway. We also need His light then. We need Hashem whenever it's dark. You still need Hashem's light. Yeah, you see the most light in the day. Sure. That's what you have to remember. You have to remember the light of the day when it comes to the night. You need to take that with you. When I'm sitting in darkness, if I'm sitting in darkness, Hashem will be my light. You understand that? If I'm sitting in dark, if I find myself in, what does that mean? I feel I don't see Hashem. That's what it means I'm in darkness. It doesn't mean I'm sitting in a dark room. It doesn't mean I feel the darkness. I feel darkness. I don't feel Hashem. So then Hashem will be my light if I only realize that, if I recognize that. So therefore you could run after Hashem to prepare, to fix and rectify the Kli of the Tzimtzum, the Kli. That Kli that has the Tzimtzum in it, the Kli that has the constriction. Your mind is constricted. You have to fill the mind with light. Fill the mind with light, and you'll fix the light, the Kli of the constriction. Can we go
Fix
to
the Kli of the constriction?
the Kli is the mind.
Right.
The mind. So you have constriction in your mind. You don't have Hashem in your mind. So fix it. Fill it with light. Fill it with light, and then you'll have Hashem in your life, and then everything will go to the right way.
But we have the stars.
Wait a minute. Okay. Ach balayla adayin loy nishlam tikkun hisayris milamata. But when it comes to the night, we didn't make that tikkun. We didn't complete the tikkun at night. On night. Ad aboka until the morning. So therefore, that's why Hashem shines in the world with His cover. Hashem shines in the world with His cover, with His glory. Me'atzmai. Bebechinis is arusa delayla. Right? We know there's a concept of Isarusa de Leila, Isarusa de Lasata, right? What's Isarusa de Leila is an awakening up from above, right? Awakening up from above. When it came to Chodesh Nisan, right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us an Isarusa de Leila. It was awakening from on high. We weren't ready. We weren't ready to go out of Mitzrayim. We weren't ready for all those revelations. We weren't ready for all those miracles. But Hashem did it for us. Because He loved us. And Hashem said, B'ni b'chayri Yisrael. So He did that. But then we have to go over Kaidem Isarusa de Lasata. But then afterwards we have to have the Isarusa de Lasata. right? We first need to have some awakening from us below. What did we do in Mitzrayim to give us the awakening below when we were in Mitzrayim? Hashem told us to have the bris milah, remember? We had to have a bris milah. That was difficult, right? For all the people, that was difficult. Then he told us to take the carbon Pesach, right? And we put the dam b'damaya chayi, b'damaya chayi. We live by the two bloods. What are the two bloods? The blood of the milah and the blood of the carbon Pesach, right? That was the mesiras nefesh that we put in. That was a sarusa de lasata. Koydem is sarusa de lasata. V'ika shleimush k'shezoichin lekabel la'or ayedei sarusa de lasata. The main light is when you put your effort in. You put your effort in. When you put your effort in, then you can accept the light of Hashem. You just have to put something in. You have to put in. And how does the light shines in the morning? How? Through the yearning, through the longing, the pining of the tzaddikim, that they get up at night. Anyone that gets up at night is called a tzaddik. You understand that? You get up at night and you're crying over the destruction of the Beis Hamikdash, and you're begging Hashem to bring His light into the world. This is a tzaddik. What he says, right? You see that? Anyone that can get up at chatzos, anyone that can get up around chatzos. But at night we didn't yet complete this arusa de lasata. We didn't yet complete our awakening from below. So Hashem gives us a little light. You know, we're trying, so Hashem fills in. He fills in the gap. We're trying. Hashem fills in the gap for us. He fills us in. Right? Misham. Without that, Hashem is mayor. He illuminates to us. If we don't have any sarusta de lasata, if we don't do anything from on our part down here, then all the dinim come upon us. Chas v'shalom. We don't want the dinim. We don't want the judges from the 24 courts. So misham cheshkas laila, and that's where the deep darkness of the night comes from. Kamuvan b'zayir hakodesh ki she'ein nishla mesarusa delasata azay chas v'shalom dinam v'choshech ikar shleimus. Yeah. If you don't complete your isarusa delasata, then you let the dinim come in. Then the dinim come in, the judgments all come in, and then you have all the problems. So how do you fix it? You get up and you do your isarusa delasata. You do your part at night. You do your part. Hashem will be mashlim the rest. If you just start. That's what Hashem wants. He wants us to start. We start, and Hashem will take care of it for us. Bechinas Pesach or Shavuos. Come on, look at this, guys. Here we go. That's the idea of Pesach and Shavuos, right? Pesach is in the month of Nisan. Shavuos is in the month of Sivan, right? The first of the three of the seasons, right? Connected to Yehuda, right? Kiva Pesach, Bechinas is a rusa delayla kayadua, like I explained to you a few minutes ago. Pesach, the whole idea was it's a rusa delayla. It was an awakening of on high from Hashem. Hashem, when He went higher than the courthouses, it was the place that we learned. I don't know if you remember. We learned that it was the place of Rava the Rava. It was that place of Rotzon, the place of Keter. Hashem tapped into that place. Remember, we said through the three tzaddikim, through Yosef, Moshe, and David. Even though David wasn't around yet, but the light of David HaMelech was still in the world. He was still there, even though he wasn't around. But Hashem tapped into all of that to get us out. He went around all of the judges and everything. Hashem said, I'm doing this. Hashem took care of it. He went right around everyone. He went right around all those angry judges. He didn't care. Hashem didn't care, kayadua. Because we weren't worthy to go out. Even the Mitzrayim, the Malachim was saying, hey, they serve Avodah Zarah and they serve Avodah Zarah. What are you doing, Hashem? Hashem said, be quiet. I know what I'm doing. v'soifrim arba b'teisha yemei Sefira. We took the barley and we waved it, right, on Pesach, right? We did the barley offering, right? Why did we wave the barley offering? We learned, remember, because that's the time that we were like animals. We weren't refined yet, right? So we ate barley. Barley is animal fodder, right? Barley is not people food. That's animal food. That's the oimer. Okay. V'soifrim arba'im b'teisha yemei Sefira. We count the 49 days. Today we're in the 47th day. Isn't that great? See that? 47th day. Kineged arba v'teisha oisa shebekriya Shema. Against the 49 letters of Kriya Shema. Shema Yisrael and Baruch Shem, right? 49. Arba'im v'teisha oisa shvatim. The 49 letters of the shvatim's name when you write them out. V'ayedei zeh mechniyim atzman l'kabolas haTorah. We prepare ourselves, right? We prepare ourselves for kabolas haTorah. Bechinas zerusa d'lasata. That's what we are now. We're in the 3 days. We're in the Shleishis Yemei Agbola right now, right? We have to prepare ourselves with holiness. We have to do whatever we can. More tehillim, more as Baida does, more doing acts of kindness and things. We have to prepare ourselves. When we want to have Kabbalah Satorah, we have to prepare ourselves. And then we can get the light on Truas. Come on, come on, guys, come on. It's the Shleishis Yemei Agbola. We're preparing for Truas. And here we're learning about Truas. Come on, is this amazing? Is this not a gift from Hashem? Come on, Bemet. Come on, guys. Ba'oz ikya or hachesed. That's the main light of chesed b'shleimus b'chinas sarusa de lasata. Our awakening from below. That's what the whole time of Sefira is, right? We're trying to get closer to Hashem, like we learned today. How do you get closer to Hashem today? Praise Hashem. Thank Hashem. If you praise Hashem and you're thanking Hashem all the time, because you realize you're neshama, you realize Hashem is in your neshama. No matter where you go, you could find Hashem. When you realize that, when you praise Hashem, that's how you fix and you make this arusa de lasata. And therefore, Mitzrayim, we went out of Egypt when? At night. We have to go out at night. We went out of Mitzrayim at night. Because that's the time it's Arusa D'Leila at night, when Hashem is when everything's hidden. Hashem awakens us. Because we know Golus is like the light, darkness. We know that the Golus is like the darkness.
So we wanted like an abundance of Hashem's chesed.
We needed it.
Why? If I would have gotten taken out during the day, that's too obvious?
It would have been obvious. No. The miracle happened at night. We actually went out during the day. It started at night, but we actually went out during the day. We went out in broad daylight.
Because that's the level we were at.
We went
at a higher level.
We went out in broad.
Out at night.
Right. And again, that was part of the miracle that we went out of Mitzrayim during the day. We didn't go out like bandits. We didn't leave in the middle of the night.
More of a miracle to go out during the day.
Sure. That we left. Millions of people left Egypt. No one was able to leave Egypt. Millions of people. They sent us out. Millions of people left. Amazing, right? It was something spectacular. No one was able to leave Egypt. Then they would take your kid out. Your animals, take the people, take the kids, take the elderly. Everyone, go. Get out. Go. And they sent us out with a lot of money too, right? Everyone had 600 donkeys of gold and silver and all of the stuff, right? Could you imagine what that was? Yossi, can you imagine you had 600 donkeys of gold and silver? Yossi, could you imagine that?
I don't know what I would do with it.
That's a lot of cash, right?
Just give me one. I'm happy to have it. One donkey.
600 donkeys. And Korach, he was so wealthy, he had 600 donkeys with the keys to his donkeys that had the treasure chest. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was so wealthy. Wow. He had more money than everybody else. All right, anyway. And the Geula was before the summertime. Lifnei HaKetz.
I'm sorry, you mentioned the Korach. I just saw a very nice piece
on
we're talking about the flags and where each tribe was placed. So Korach was placed.
It was Kahas.
Kahas.
Yeah.
Near the tribe of Reuben.
Yes.
And I want to say maybe it's talking about Victor Miller, as you're saying this, but that, and so what happens, later, when Korach ends up rebelling, who are most of the henchmen that are with him? The guys from Shevet Ruvain.
Yeah.
Meaning because they were exposed, he had bad neighbors, basically.
Because I'll tell you, to pick your neighbors, pick your good, have a good neighbor.
Up on top, on the east, you have to like know.
Shochin Tov. You want a Shochin Tov.
Yeah.
You don't want a Shochin Ra.
What's a shocking?
A neighbor.
A neighbor, bad neighbors. He's hanging out. Reuben had to get involved in this, where they were hanging out the whole time, where everyone was designated next to Korah, and then they were influenced.
We weren't worthy based on our actions. Because again, we were serving Avodah Zarah like them. Because again, we were influenced by Egypt. Right? We were influenced by them. We were there for 210 years. We were there. We were influenced by them. Right? Therefore it was at night. So it's a beautiful understanding, and really, but to understand this is really to understand that we have to constantly work to find Hashem. It's really the Rusa Dosata. The more effort we put in to find Hashem, Hashem fills in the gaps. And why, if you ask yourself, why does Hashem, he hides himself from you, is because if you always had Hashem, you wouldn't appreciate Hashem. Even though Hashem is always there. But in our minds, psychologically, if we would always have Hashem and it would be always on the forefront of our mind, we would get bored of that. So Hashem hides himself, you find him, and you have that simcha. Right? That's how Hashem designed it.
Is it that when they were at such a low level, and then we're counting the Omer, and each one represents Hesed and all the different combinations?
Yeah.
How does it get so high? I mean, it's like, I can't imagine myself growing that high in 40 days.
Because they explain it's 49 days. Because each day you shed a level of impurity and you gain a level of purity. You're shedding and gaining.
Is that something we can do?
We are doing it.
You just did it. You're doing it now.
You're Miller doing it.
Yeah, I know. Yes, however, I would think that I would be once I finish counting, I would be at a really high level.
But you're getting there. Hold on. Take it easy.
Hamteen.
Hamti, yes. It says Hamtin. Wait. Take it easy.
I know you want it.
No, it's not about wanting it. It's about understanding how were they able to do that? I mean, really, if you think about trying to change a behavior today, you get angry.
Well,
you can work on it for years.
I think even like psychologically or physiologically, if you were to theoretically, they say the brain starts to change somewhat after 30, 40, I bet you 49 days. I mean, like if you refrain from a certain activity, you don't have to be beholden to your habits for life. It actually doesn't take that long to be able to turn around.
It doesn't, no.
But you need God. You need God to do it.
If you have Hashem with you, you can do it. You can do
by
it.
yourself.
That's true.
You gotta humble yourself to God. So God help me. I don't know what to do. I can't do this alone. And He'll help you.
And that's it. That's what it's all
So
about.
you say, help me.
Like Rav Chaim always says, help! Right?
Or he goes, oi!
He does the he gives the oi.
He does good way.
Yeah. All right. So everyone, I wish everyone a wonderful day. We should hear Besora Tovot and Kol Tov.